Alright, folks. Pokemon Go Fest 2025 has come and gone. And I got some good stuff. I didn't get the best stuff, but I got some good stuff. We're going to show what I got for Go Fest. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna pause from shiny hunting in just a second. Damn, it sucks. It looks like today I actually started off with the camera straight. Damn. Just so it doesn't... You don't have a very faded background sound of the 3DS when I show you my shinies. Alright, let's take a break from shiny hunting for just a second, even though it's been like 4 encounters. Alright, let me show you exactly what I got during Pokemon Go Fest. So, over here, to start off, day 1, I started off the day with 2 shiny unknowns. These are actually my very first shiny unknowns at all in Pokemon Go. And then I got shiny Skidoo, shiny Alolan Sandshrew, Piplup, Chansey, Torkoal, Electabuzz, Vullaby, Swinub, and the Costume Phalanx. I did a couple of... I did plenty of Zamazenta raids, but no shiny. Day 1, no shiny Zamazenta. I got 4 backgrounds. And then, after Go Fest was over for the day, on my way home, I was using the Daily Incense, and I got a Hundo Bidoof off of it. I found God. And then, day 2 of Pokemon Go Fest, here are the shinies I got. I got the Costume Pikachu, the Dapper Pikachu. That one's the red one. It's fine that I only got 1 shiny Pikachu, because it's the red one. You know, that's my favorite color. Shiny Torkoal, Carablast, another unknown, Skidoo, Pachirisu, Jangmo-O, Passimian, 2 Carbinks, unknown Skidoo, Zacian, Skidoo again, Swinub, Munna, Venipede, and Marini. I got 5 background Zacians, and one of them was shiny. And then today, I got that shiny Glameow. So yeah, throughout Go Fest, I only got 1 shiny from raids, being a Zacian. But you know what, it's fine, because it had the background. So, primarily, I focused on getting the energies from the raid. So, what I did was, I got enough Sword and Shield energies. I changed the form of my best buddy Shiny and My best buddy Shiny Zacian and Zamazenta I got back in, a couple months ago when the shiny was first first available. And then because I got the shiny with the background, I wanted to make sure I got enough energies to change that one's form as well. Luckily, by the time I got the shiny Zacian with the background, I was at like 1700 energy, so I just needed to do like 3 more raids. So I got just enough energy to change the form of both my shiny Zacians and my Zamazenta. Now, you're gonna hear me cope. I'm kind of okay without getting a shiny Zamazenta because I feel like the regular Zamazenta looks better with the background than the shiny does. So here I am coping. It's not the biggest deal that I did not get a shiny Zamazenta with the background because I feel like the regular looks better. Total cope right there. And just some extra stuff I wanted to show. I got a 98 IV Torkoal as well as a 98 IV Red Flower non-shiny Flabébé. But I forgot to take a screenshot when it was still a Flabébé, so here it is as a Floette. And there's the highlights of the good stuff I found during Pokemon Go Fest. However, Go Fest doesn't seem like it's over yet. Because it was announced that there should be a part 2 to Pokemon Go Fest. happening, I believe, August 23rd and 24th. So, a belated birthday gift to me. Pokemon Go Fest Part 2 is going to be happening the day after my birthday. And it seems like, without straight up telling us, it seems like Part 2 of Go Fest is going to focus on Eternatus. I'm down for that. I wonder if it'll be in Raids or in Dynamax. I think it'd be fun if it was in both. I think it makes sense. Maybe the regular form in Raids and then the Gigantamax form in Dynamaxes. I think that kind of makes sense, but we'll see. So during Pokemon Go Fest, I didn't really care about the wild spawns. I primarily focused on Raids because I already had a shiny Best Buddy, Zacian, and Zamazenta from months ago. I already had them shiny, so I primarily focused on getting enough energy to change the forms. However, if I got the shinies, that'd be nice. But aside from getting enough energy, I also wanted the backgrounds. Isn't it wild that getting the shiny was like the third thing on my list for priorities when it comes to Zacian and Zamazenta? Number 1, I wanted enough energy. Number 2, I wanted at least one with the background. And number 3, if I get lucky enough, a shiny would be nice. So yeah, I focus mostly on the raids. However, for the spawns, I mostly also focused, I went hard, pause, on the incense spawns. So the incense spawns being Skidoo, Torkoal, Pachirisu, I focused a lot. I went hard to get those shinies. Klefki was in there as well, but Klefki couldn't be shiny, so I made sure just to snatch one. And then, whenever it was the hour to get Klefkis, I didn't use an incense. You know, it was just a break. It was a good time for a break. Because I tell you, the incense during this event, at first I thought it would spawn one Pokemon every 5 minutes like an incense normally does, but no, it spawned like every 30 seconds. So it was rapidly spawning. And it was kind of overwhelming. You know, there was just so many things to focus on. You wanted to focus on, you know, the wild spawns every 30 seconds or so, give or take. Something spawning off of the incense. You want to make sure you spin the Pokestops, do the research task. Not the research task, the field research. And in my eyes, something else I had to do was worry about my buddies' hearts, because I'm still in the process of best buddying a ton of stuff. And, you know, hearts were worth 2 times that day, or those days. So I had to make sure to swap out my buddies in time. Also, the surprise encounters with the snapshot. So there was a lot to think about. Adding in the incense, giving off so many encounters, it was just so much to remember. So that's primarily what I focused on during Go Fest. Raiding to get enough energies, and preferably at least one with the background. Check. Of course, I wanted both of them shiny with the background. I'm lucky enough I at least got one, you know? I got shiny Zacian with the background. I'm lucky enough to at least have gotten one. No shiny Zamazenta at all, let alone a shiny one with the background, but you know, cope. I feel like the regular Zamazenta looks better with the background than the shiny does. Because, you know, regular Zamazenta, aside from the blue, it's a more fitting red. The shiny Zamazenta is more pink, magenta. Doesn't really match with the background that much, so, you know, cope. I got at least one of the shiny costume Dapper Pikachu, so at least that's nice. Obviously, I would have liked to get all 3, but I'll take one. I'll take at least one. And it's a bonus that it's my favorite color, being red. I also got the shiny Phalanx with the costume. I audibly gasped when that happened. Oh, and fun fact, one of my shiny Skidoos is an extra small. I got a double XS shiny Skidoo. So sweet. So yeah, like I said, aside from the raids, I primarily focused on the incense spawns, so Torkoal, Skidoo, Pachirisu. Day 1, I got shiny Torkoal and Skidoo. So those were done, but day 1 I did not get a Pachirisu, so that was my main goal for day 2, aside from the raids. I did get one shiny Pachirisu, so I am happy with that. There were other rare spawns I would have liked to get shiny. I did get 2 shiny Carbinks. That's nice. Shiny Carbink is the brand new shiny for the Go Fest. There were other rare spawns too I would have liked to get shiny, like Frigibax. I did not get my hands on a shiny Frigibax, but it's okay. I'll get my hands on a shiny one sooner or later. I'm sure they'll do a community day for it in June at some point. 98 IV Torkoal and Floette, or not Flabebe, Red Flower Flabebe. I would have really liked to get a shiny red Flabebe, but no luck. I got a 98 IV, so, you know, I'll take it. Because I believe Red Flower Flabebe is exclusive to, what, Europe? I think so. Because yellow is exclusive over here in the Americas, blue is exclusive to Asia, and I'm pretty sure red is exclusive to Europe. So it would have been nice to get a shiny, but a 98 IV, I'll take it. So that's primarily all the stuff I got during Go Fest. I'm debating, do I best buddy that other shiny Zacian with the background? I think I might. Oh, and speaking of which, this event has done so much damage to my game, and by that I mean my items are all out of whack. Man, in my Pokemon Go, I now have over 600 golden raspberries. I don't need that many. But I don't want to waste them by just trashing them to make room, so I'm gonna have to use them up. And then, so because I best buddy a lot of stuff, just to keep the game alive for me, I best buddy a lot of things, so I need to feed a ton of Pokemon berries to get hearts. I save my raspberries and pineapple, not pineapples. I save my raspberries and nanaberries for that. So I don't really use them to catch Pokemon. And because I'm a bit of a hoarder, I always have the mentality the ends justify the means, right? In this case, at least. So, like, I have so many of these berries. I have almost 300 of each. I'm thinking, I don't want to waste them, because I'll use them eventually. That's a lot of hearts. But I just had too many. Too many. I couldn't take it anymore. It was just too much. It was just overcrowded in my game, I guess. So what I had to do was I had to trash a whole bunch of them to make enough space for Pokeballs. I know this is still too much, but this is just what I keep around in my game. In my game, I keep around 200 of each berry, minus silver pineapple berries. Those ones I keep. So in my game, I try to have around 200 raspberries, nanaberries, pineapple berries, golden raspberries. I try to have around 200 of each. I know that's a huge waste of space, but leave me alone. It's how I play the game. So yeah, I trashed about like 150 in total berries. I trashed about like, you know, if you do the math, that's like 75 raspberries and nanaberries. That's a lot of hearts I could have gotten with my buddies. But I had to trash them just because they were taking up too much space. I had to trash like 150 berries to make room for Pokeballs. And, you know, the over 600 golden raspberries I now have in my game, I'm gonna have to use them up until, you know, I get around the 200 point. Silver pineapples, though, oh no, I keep those, I hoard those. Before Go Fest started, I had like almost 430, 440. And because during Go Fest, there was the global event thing, global challenge, where Premier Balls should work much better. meaning you would catch whatever's from a raid or a Dynamax battle, because they were caught in Premier Balls, you would be able to catch them if not in one ball, then two. So because it's an excellent opportunity, I use my Silver Pineapple Berries. All the Zacians, all the Zamazentas, anything from Dynamax raids, I use a Silver Pineapple Berry before I caught them. I don't normally use Silver Pineapple Berries, I really just keep them until events like this, where you really benefit the most from using it. You know, where certain events where things from raids you can catch much easier, that's when I use Silver Pineapple Berries. So, yeah, I still have over 400 Silver Pineapple Berries in my game because I never use them, outside of special events like these. So yeah, that's my Pokemon Go Fest. I should consider myself lucky. I got basically everything I wanted, minus like at least one shiny Zamazenta and a shiny Frigibax, but that latter one is okay. I got the main three shinies I want, being Torkoal, Skidoo, and Pachirisu. I got at least one of each shiny costume Pokemon added, being Pikachu and Phalanx. Sure, I didn't get all the Pikachu colors, but it is what it is. I got at least one Zacian and Zamazenta with the background, so that's nice. I did get a shiny Zacian with the background, so that is really nice. And I also got enough energies to change the forms for both Zacian, not just both Zacians, wait, no, for two Zacians, not just one, for two, and my Zamazenta, so pretty successful Go Fest in my eyes. It could have been better, but it also could have been a lot worse. I could have not gotten a shiny Pachirisu, because that one really came in clutch. I got, let's see, I got two shiny Torkoals and one, two, three, and yeah. Yeah, I got two shiny Torkoals and three shiny Skidoos, but only one Pachirisu. I mean, that's fine. Out of all three, Skidoo's the only one that evolves, so it's good that I got more than one. And I got one that's a double XS. So, how did you guys do during Pokemon Go Fest? Let me know. Alright, now that Go Fest talk is out the way, let us actually move on, because we got a lot to talk about today. We got 4 different shows to talk about. We have Ironheart. I know. We have Squid Game Season 3. Yay! But that yay is questionable. I'll explain why in a second. And then we have Gen V as well as The Boys Presents Diabolical. So, yay. About Squid Game Season 3, I've only seen 1 episode so far. I'm gonna do not what I did with Season 2, and that is watch the whole season, and then go 1 episode at a time, breaking it down. Not this time. This time I'm actually gonna watch 1 episode at a time, and break it down, and go over it. So I'm not gonna watch the whole season, and then talk about episode 1 this time, pretending like I don't know what's gonna happen coming up. No, I'm gonna watch 1 episode per each of these, instead of just binging the entire season at once, and just talking about 1 episode at a time. But unfortunately, I've been hearing news online, or reports online, that Season 3 is bad. I saw Moist Critical post a video saying Season 3 is bad. I didn't watch it yet, because I haven't seen the rest of the season yet. And my friend, my jackass friend, the guy that recommended From to me, Even he said, yo, the ending was terrible. It was horrible. It sucked. He said it is bad and it's terrible. It's both. I actually texted him like, I thought episode 1 was pretty good. I like episode 1. But then again, we'll see. It's only 1 out of 6. Let's see. He says it goes downhill. Second episode kind of fucked, to be honest. And you know what I texted him? I texted him, well, if you're telling me 1 out of 3 seasons is bad, I may as well quit the whole show. Not worth my time, but the whole show isn't amazing. Because knowing just 1 season in the whole show being bad is enough to make me quit entirely. Nope, I quit the show. 1 season bad, 1 bad season equals not worth my time. Because, you know, who would quit an entire show just because they heard 1 season out of the entire show was bad? 1 season out of all of the show's content is bad. Nope, not worth my time. If the entire thing's not absolutely cinematic masterpiece, then it's not worth my time at all. You know, it's almost like, imagine this. It's almost like, you know, quitting the entire show of Arrow just because you heard season 4 was bad. Imagine that. Imagine doing that. Quitting an entire show just because you heard 1 season out of the entire show's bad. Oh, season 7 of The Walking Dead's not that great? Nope, not worth my time. The entire show? Nope. I'm not gonna watch it all because I don't want to see anything bad. 1 bad season out of the entire show's many seasons. Nope, not worth my time. Alright, yep, we got Ironheart and Squid Game now to talk about. I was actually debating, do I line them up? So this time I don't talk about Ironheart episode 2. I don't talk about Ironheart, but only Squid Game. So that next time we would talk about episode 2 of both Ironheart and Squid Game. I decided, nah. Before we start, I want to tell you guys a quick little story of something that happened tonight. You remember a little while ago how I started off with one of these saying I was pretty upset because I was cooking dinner. My dog pooed in the house and my sister refused to help. So I had to stop cooking dinner to clean up feces and then continue to prep dinner. Well, not exactly the same thing happened today, but on principle, same thing. It was just the end of dinner. It was the end of dinner. I wasn't done eating, but everyone else is. My dog poos in the house. And wow, no surprise, my sister tells me to clean it up. I'm just like, I'm still eating. And she's just like, too bad. And you know, this bitch has the nerve to actually get mad at me whenever I say, no, you clean it. Because I'm doing something. I'm either cooking food or I am still eating. No, you clean it. And she will physically get upset with me. I feel like my side is just a little bit more justified, don't you think? I'm preparing sustenance, whether I'm cooking it or consuming it. I am still handling food. Whether it goes into my body or your body, it is still something you will consume. Anyways, I wasn't done eating dinner yet, but everyone else was, and I was told to pick up my dog's poo, when she very well could have done it. Nah, I swear to God, next time this happens, I'm not gonna hesitate. I'm gonna tell her ass to do it, and I ain't doing it. I don't care. It will stay there until you pick it up, because I will not pick it up. You can go upstairs, go to your room, come back down a couple hours later, and it will still be there, because I will not pick it up. If I am in the middle of handling food, whether I cook it or I'm eating it, I'm not dealing with it. Not again, not anymore. Oh, anyways, let us talk about Ironheart. Ironheart, I mine. Let's unfortunately talk about Ironheart. Episode 2 was bad. It was not good. Episode 2 was really not enjoyable to watch for me. So Riri wakes up to her now AI Natalie, and Natalie is infuriating. She is not good. Natalie is very annoying. So, Riri doesn't even know how she made Natalie. But because it's morning, she now has the meeting with the goon squad or whatever, the group of criminals that she just agreed to work with for cash, for money. So she needs to go to the meeting. She leaves Natalie behind because the AI projection is kind of stuck into her suit's chest plate. She goes to the meeting, she brings bagels with her, and then they go over the plan. So this was mentioned in the first episode, Tunnel, TNNL. It's a underground highway? Okay. I think one would just simply call that a subway station. But, like, whatever. In a way, speaking of the subway station, in a way I'm a little surprised we don't already have that in the real world, but then I have to remember it's just a subway station. But it's just a underground highway for cars, for more efficient travel. And it's a pretty high-tech looking underground subway as well, so you know damn well it's some rich folks who drive under there. While all those poor plebes use the roads on the surface. Disgusting. So anyways, they go over their plan. Their plan is to hijack the highway, but it's not revealed for what just yet. Riri also gets introduced to the rest of the group, the characters. Slug. Ugh. And, you know, I shouldn't even be surprised. Of course, this character uses they, them pronouns. At this point, why am I even surprised? At this point, it's my fault for being surprised. I should have guessed that this person uses they, them pronouns. So we get introduced to Slug. We get introduced to... I don't even remember any of their code names. Oh yeah, one of them was Clown. Alright. We get, like, what? Biological siblings by blood who are, like, pyromaniacs, I think? Ugh, who cares? There was no Rampage. surprisingly, because Riri's taking over Rampage's job, so I guess poor Rampage. No one even gives him the respect of calling him by his code name. While everyone made fun of his codename Rampage for being lame and stupid and cringe, while their codenames are Clown and Slug. If you ask me, Rampage is the coolest codename compared to, Clown and Slug. We also get introduced to John, who is Parker's cousin. Alright, who cares? So, they're doing a job tonight where they hijack Tunnel. So, Riri's suit needs to be there. They need Riri's suit. Because the plan is like, I don't know, hijack the highway, turn off the power so they can jack into it, something, who cares? Riri goes back to her house, claiming that her suit is simply charging. She goes back to her house. Oh, by the way, no, not yet. Goes back to her house. Man, this episode was full of woke dialogue. It was so full of it. There was this scene where where Riri is talking to her Natalie AI in her room. Her mother comes home, hears that, Riri might be talking to someone in her room, so then Riri's mother is like, is there someone in here? Is there a boy in here? A girl? Perhaps? Man. And that's not all. There was also a lot of dialogue on privilege in this episode as well. It's like so stupid. Whatever. So Riri goes back home. She needs her suit in tip-top shape for the job tonight. But it's, it's not in tip-top shape. AI Natalie suggests finding stuff online to help her. So, scour through the black market sites, whatever, found someone nearby with all these illegal things that will upgrade Riri's suit. So, Riri, she needs to take her suit with her, obviously, so what she does is she goes to that kid in the first episode who helped her with the wagon, but charged her $20 for it. This time, man, this kid is infuriating, but, in a way you gotta respect the grind, but like this kid, I swear to God, this kid. Riri goes back to this kid, asks to borrow his wagon, and he's just like, $40. That's highway robbery. Blame inflation. I tell you, I would not give that wagon back. $40 to borrow it? Nah, $40, I'm keeping it. So Riri, quote unquote, borrows the wagon for 40 bones. She wagons her suit onto the subway. There's this drunken sports fan guy, I think, with a blanket over him, and she just takes the blanket to cover her suit. You just straight up stole the guy's covers in public. Why didn't you just grab a blanket of your own? Even a bathroom towel? Why didn't you just grab something to cover your own suit before you left the house? Why'd you steal some poor guy's cloth in the subway? Anyway, so she goes to this suburban neighborhood, and, she meets Han Jolo. So we get introduced to Joe, and I swear to God, Joe, he's not that bad of a character. They dumbed him down, obviously, because the only white guy in the show they made infuriatingly lame, but he's not a bad character. It's his neighbor. That neighbor infuriates me. Because, first of all, the hell kind of trim was that on your dog? Like, all the top fur is so short, but then the bottom half of your dog's body, look at that thing. That poor dog. The upper half of that dog's coat has been sheared off. You poor creature, what is your owner doing to you? So Joe was trying to ask her neighbor, your dog keeps on pooing in my yard. Oh, I'm sorry, we just got our lawn done. We don't want our dog to poo on our lawn. But, like, can you take her to the park or anything? No, it's, like, too far, too much work or whatever. Okay, but can you pick up your poo? We're out of doggy bags. Next time, though. Man, what the hell? Oh, hell no. My neighbor's dog poos on my yard, and I get these bullshit excuses, I'm calling someone. If you can't be prepared to take care of your pet... If you know... take care of the responsibilities of your pet like that as well, then you shouldn't have a pet. And also, that poor thing, the way that you made its fur, that lady absolutely should not be in charge of any sort of animal. So anyways, Riri meets Joe, and because she's aware of his, like, black market shenanigans, he's forced to comply, because he's like, look at me, I can't survive in jail. So, Joe takes her to his, you know, his stash, his secret location where he keeps all of his illegal goodies. Meanwhile, Natalie, the AI, is trying to help out. So she finds a way to... Oh yeah, she was also taken out of the suit and locked into the laptop. So she's trying to see what she can do. She ends up projecting, literally, herself with a projector onto her mother's painting, onto Riri's painting, and then they start talking. Riri's mother starts talking to AI Natalie. Cool, I guess. At least she got to talk to and see Natalie once again. Cool, I guess. So Joe takes Riri to this, like, I don't know, this farm silo where he has converted it into, like, an underground space chock full of illegal goodies. You know, there's missiles, there's, like, borderline arc reactors in there. Not exactly, but whatever. So, yeah, they get working on Riri's suit. Joe does drop hints about, you know, he has all this stuff because it helps him feel close to his father. It's not revealed yet that he's the son of Obadiah Stane, but, like, I don't care. I already got spoiled that. I already got that spoiled, but I don't care. And I'm pretty sure if I wasn't spoiled up to this point, I wouldn't really even care who his father is anyways. You know? I wouldn't be thinking, who could his father be? Ooh, there's so many potentials. I really don't care. Oh yeah, there was also this one scene where Riri and, I think his name is like Zay, the friend from the first episode, he invited her out to some sort of, like, club, concert thing. So yeah, she also made plans after her job. She fixes up her suit, and, you know, once again, the biggest compliment I can give this show is the practical effects. You know, it's a real-life suit that exists on screen. It's not all CGI. And I think it actually opens up practically as well. So, you know, at least I'll give it points for that. We have not seen a legitimate suit up, even if it was CGI. We have not seen a suit up that is not nanotech ever since, like, I think Captain America Civil War. I'm trying to think. There was... No. No, maybe in Spider-Man Homecoming. But that wasn't really a suit up. We saw Tony Stark come out of the suit. So if we actually see someone suit up, then I think it was Civil War the last time we saw it. That was a long time ago. That was almost a decade ago. And ever since then, we've gotten nothing but nanotech. Not even just in the MCU, but everywhere. We've seen it in DC as well. We're sick of nanotech. So anyway, it's time for Riri to go do her job. So, yeah, they hijack the underground highway, but Natalie shows up abruptly and jump scares Riri, so she loses the flash drive that Slug gave her. So now they need to compromise. Now they need to think on the spot. I forget the word. Well, they have this plan, make an emergency brake so the entire highway gets stopped. When that happens, Parker, you know, Hood is able to go into, like, I don't know, the CEO's car and force her to sign a contract saying these guys will be anonymous shareholders who get, like, a cut of the profit. With her signature, a part of me doesn't understand what the hell's her signature gonna do, right? Like, who cares? You don't even know these people? I don't know, man. Then again, like, why couldn't she just fake a signature? There's always a thing, like, she saw the Hood, you know, she saw Parker teleport in front of her, so if she faked it, then he could have come back, but, like, she could have just done that. She could have just been like, okay, you win, I'll sign it, and then just make a fake signature that resembles nothing like her own signature. But whatever. So it worked. These group of criminals got what they wanted. They were signed off a portion of the company. They get a share of the profit. Yay, they're rich now. Alright, so they throw the celebratory party. Oh yeah, before the party, Riri is in her suit and it's projecting Natalie. A cop shows up and the cop aims his gun at them and Natalie freezes. So without the AI functioning, she can't put her helmet down, which I assume would be bulletproof. I would think Riri could simply just turn around. The back side of her head is covered with armor, which is bulletproof. She could have just turned around and tried to sprint if the AI still wasn't functioning, because, you know, it's not like that one cop is gonna tackle down the suit of armor. But whatever, she didn't turn around. Instead, the cop would shoot at them. Or he was about to, but no. Instead, a bullet flied behind Riri to hit the cop, and it was Parker. Anyways, now at the party, they celebrate. Yay, they're rich now because they did a crime. Good for them. What heroes. And Riri is beginning to grow suspicious about Parker. Like, he's somehow, he's suspicious. She even acknowledges this herself, because Natalie is just like, something's going on with Parker. Riri's just like, I know he's mad sus. Riri also asks Natalie about, you know, her freezing up, and she's just like, it happened when a gun was pointed at me. So Riri's just like, how can my AI program have a panic attack? Okay, I guess that's just AI these days. Alright. They go back home. No, wait, not yet. So, now Riri goes on her date with Zay. She calls down her suit, which is just floating up in the air. I feel like that's a massive waste of energy. But Riri did say her suit, instead of being powered by an arc reactor, is powered with solar energy and winds. I don't know exactly how wind factors in. There's not exactly a windmill that spins to generate energy, but okay. And I question this because it was nighttime, so ain't no solar energy being collected. And unless it was a windy night, just having it fly up in the air is kind of a waste of energy. I mean, it was kind of cool to see that there are, like, retractable solar panels on the suit's back, I guess. So she goes on her date with Za, alright. She goes home. Riri's mother asked her about the AI Natalie, and then she's like, can you do one of Gary as well? And Riri says no, she can't, because she doesn't even know how she made Natalie's AI. We cut to Parker. He's hearing voices from the hood. And I think I heard one of the voices say, like, what is it you desire? Alright, is it Lucifer now? Lucifer Morningstar, what is it that you truly desire? I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Mephisto is sort of like the Lucifer, the devil of the MCU, of Marvel. And if it really is Mephisto, then I guess that kind of lines up. Anyways, there you go. There's Ironheart. I don't want to talk about the show anymore. There may have been small details I missed. I don't care. Alright, now let's talk about Squid Game. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Squid Game, Season 3, Episode 1. I thought this episode was pretty good, but from what I hear online, the season goes downhill. The season ends pretty badly, from what I hear. My first prediction, I imagine if the season ends bad, I'm predicting, like, I don't know, Gi-hun dies and the games just continue. So all that build up for Gi-hun winning and stopping the games is pointless, because he dies and the games continue anyways. That's my prediction. Because we do know we're getting an American Squid Game spin-off. So it seems like, you know, Il Nam's operation isn't just exclusive to Korea. So, even if Gi-hun stops the games in Korea, he doesn't stop it in general, because it happens all over the world. So that's my prediction. Gi-hun dies, and the games continue. Because everyone's saying there's a bad ending, the ending's horrible. I don't know what it could be aside from that. There were theories around, like, Gi-hun will be the next frontman. He will be the next person to take over the operation. I doubt that. Let's face it. Gi-hun's character, he would never. Unless that's the bad ending, like, it's completely out of character, Gi-hun just suddenly goes 180 and is like, yeah, I see your point now. I now see that human lives are worthless, so yes, I shall indeed take over the games as the next frontman. Unless that's the bad ending, because it's just so out of character. I don't know, I feel like Gi-hun dying is more likely. Alright, so Squid Game Season 3, Episode 1. Netflix actually was nice enough to give a recap of Season 2. You know, I'm gonna pull up the episode, because I can. Oh, how do I mute this? There we go. Alright, in terms of Squid Game Season 3, we got a pretty long recap, actually. We start off with Once again, I'm gonna butcher everyone's name, so I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna call them by their title. So, we cut back to, I forget her name. The girl who works as one of the soldiers, trying to help her friend who is the guy with the cancer patient daughter. So he whispers to her, "Do what I say if you want to live, close your eyes." So then the other guys, the other soldiers, you know, who also do the organ stealing operation, that psycho is just like, you're finally come around, huh? Oh, you want me to show you where we harvest the organs? Why? Because we're in the same boat now. We should trust each other now, right? So the soldiers, they deliver a coffin to the rest of the players, and inside is Gi-hun, but he's still alive. Gi-hun questions the guards why they left him alive. But everyone mocks Gi-hun for this. So they handcuff Gi-hun to one of the beds, and he is now very out of it. He is broken. So he doesn't move, he doesn't respond or anything. The time has come to vote again, and because so many people who voted not to continue the games went along with Gi-hun's plan and they all got killed, now there's even less people to vote to stop the games. So majority wins, the games get voted to continue, and the people who voted yes, let the games continue, mock Gi-hun. They're just like, this was your whole plan, wasn't it? You just wanted to lead the people who wanted out to their deaths so that more people would vote for the games to continue, right? Hey everyone, let's give Gi-hun a round of applause. And then the shaman lady even has the nerve to get up in his face and tease him as well. Gi-hun actually does try to choke her out with one hand. So yeah, the shaman lady is so annoying. I can't wait to see her die. I hope she dies. Maybe that's the bad ending. The annoying characters get to live. So they're given food. It's like sweet potatoes and a bottle of water. Gi-hun is just out of it. He refuses to eat. And while our Season 2 characters are trying to comfort Gi-hun, they just tell Gi-hun, or they say out loud, because the mother and son were there as well. The son is just like, if it wasn't for whatever his name was, the army vet guy, I forget his name. You know, the guy in Season 2 where he cowered in fear and did not bring back the magazines. So now it's in Gi-hun's mind that, you know, he was a coward. Had he brought back the magazines, maybe they could have won. So Gi-hun is now death staring him extremely. And damn, now I feel bad for this guy too. Like, that death stare from Gi-hun, it's worse than Luigi's death stare. So they leave to play the next game, and while they leave, the players who actually fought against the soldiers are dead and chained up for everyone to see. That is pretty brutal, especially because Gi-hun's friend is there too. Oh, that's just brutal. That's sad. But hey, you know what? Credits to these guys. They were actually able to to set that up in an entire day. Get the dead bodies, chain them up, find something that was actually a perfect size to chain them all up. Like, wow, good for them. These guys are efficient. So the next game is hide and seek, but they don't know that yet. When they get in there, there's a capsule machine with red and blue balls. They spin the capsule, and, you know, whichever color they get, they're on a team. Hide and seek, but instead of hide and seek, it's more like seek and kill. So the red team... No, the blue team hides and the red team seeks. And the red team needs to kill one of the blue teams in order to move on. They're each given items though. The blue team who hides is given keys. That key will open a door to allow them to escape. So if they escape, well, first of all, they win, and second of all, they don't die. Red team is given knives, really sharp daggers to kill with. So, and also, if anyone wants to swap places, if someone doesn't feel comfortable killing someone, they feel like their chances are better if they hide, they can swap places with someone on the opposite team, as long as, you know, they are both in agreement. So we do see that certain characters, they are a little bit more, you know, more timid. Not the kind to actually take a life. Kind of like Min-Su. Whatever the hell his name was, the guy who was Thanos' second hand. This guy teases the fact that Min-Su, you know, is he really capable of killing? Because I really forget this guy's name. The guy who was next to Thanos the whole time. He's just like, I tried to find you last night, you know, during the riots, during the killing. Oop. The music looped. But, you know, he tries to... He talks to Min-Su, like, in a taunting way. He never liked Min-Su. Whatever the crypto scammer guy's name is, I don't know any of these characters' name. You know, he offers to trade places with, for God's sake, I don't even know the character's name. I know the actress's name, because, you know, she's really pretty. You know, Jo Yuri, I think that's how you say her name. I don't even know her character's name. The pregnant girl, for God's sake. So, yeah, whatever the hell these characters' names are, I'm sorry, Korean names, alright? I'm sorry. So, the crypto scammer guy is trying to convince the girl who's pregnant to switch places, because she's on the side to seek and kill, and he's on the side to hide. He's trying to be like, you're not capable of taking a life, but I am. Anything to protect you and the baby. So if you give me if you switch with me, I will protect you. I will kill, and I will kill someone, and I will find you. But because she has such a hatred for him, she refuses, at least at first. The mother and son pairing, you know, the mother ends up on the side to seek and kill, while the son is the one to hide. So the son tries to convince his mother, switch places with me. I'll kill someone, and you hide. You hide for safety. And then, you know, they talk about, you know, her husband, his father, how he was rather abusive, and, like, you know, they're strong, they can do this, they can get through this together and survive. The old guy, the old jackass who always wants the games to continue, you know, he hilariously tries to ask Yi-hun to switch, because, you know, he was so adamant on the games continuing for more of that moolah, that now he's gonna be he's gonna be hunted. So my, how the turntables... So he hilariously tries to switch with Gi-hun, who is Team Red, which is the side to hunt and kill. And Gi-hun just gives him the nastiest death stare I've ever seen. We also see, Daiko, whatever his name is, the guy who was the coward in the last episode, the last season, he is desperately trying to switch spots because he's one of the people who's going to be hiding. And he just knows that Gi-hun is going to come for his ass. So he tries his best to switch, but he doesn't. So instead, what he does is he goes over and confronts Gi-hun. He's like, why you keep staring at me? What, do you think it's my fault? It's not my fault, it's your fault. Your stupid plan is what got them killed. Man, I feel like that was the wrong move, buddy. Oh, thank you for the follow, by the way. I feel like that was the wrong move. Man, if I was you, I would go and plead to him. I'd be like, I know you blame me. I know you're furious at me, but please understand. I'm scared for my life, just like anyone else is. We were outnumbered. They were firing at us. I was scared to die. I'm sorry. You should have pleaded to him, man. You shouldn't have mocked him and roasted him. Now he's really gonna come after you, you idiot. You had one job. You had an option of what to do, and you completely failed. Dumbass. You should have pleaded to Gi-hun instead of roasting him, you moron. What's the matter with you? Well, the soldiers break up the fight. Points a gun to him. I don't know what's going on, but sounds about right. I'm talking about Squid Game. I'm going through the first episode of Season 3. And I am not even gonna attempt to butcher any of these Korean names. So anyways, the time has come for the game to start. The blue team goes and hides. So the mother and son pairing, they absolutely switch. The mother is now on the side that hides, and now the son is the one who is going out to kill. Now, there was one rule that the guards said, which I can't wait to see if anyone breaks this rule, because let's face it, I'm sure someone will. The guard said once the game starts, any sort of killing between the red team is prohibited. So someone on the red team cannot kill another person from the red team. Or I assume disqualification and, by extension, death. So I can't wait to see some psychos forget that rule. You know, I'm sure someone will. They completely ignored or... I almost said ignored twice. They completely ignored or did not hear that rule. It went in one ear and came out the other. So obviously there's going to be people on the red team who will protect people on the blue team. Right? Just like, for example, the crypto scammer guy actually did trade spots with the girl who's pregnant. Because he made a promise. I will kill someone, I will find you, and I will protect you. So she had some time to think about it. She decided that, yeah, that's probably the best course of action. So they switched sides. Now he's the one to kill, and she's the one to hide. Like, he's going to protect her with his life. If anyone else finds her, they're going to try to kill her so that they can move on. And if he protects her, he's on the red side, they're going to attack him because he's protecting her. Some idiot is going to forget the rule that you cannot attack your own team. You know? Someone is absolutely going to do that. And man, I tell you, let me tell you this. If I was here, if I was in this game and I was given red, I will not hesitate to kill. Oh, hell nah. I will stab that knife so quick in someone's neck like Negan did to Rapey Davy. Man, especially if a woman in there is pregnant with my baby, is pregnant with our baby, I will not hesitate to kill. Are you crazy? If I was in there and I was given a knife to kill someone to move on and survive myself, I will swiftly execute someone. As long as I find them, of course, you know? It is still hide and seek at the end of the day. Yes, Negan reference. Alright, so they go into the hiding spot and there's not a lot of hiding spots. At least not from what we've seen yet. They're given 2 minutes to hide, which is really nothing. And these idiots waste a good, like, 30 seconds of talking. The old guy trying to strategize how to win, mostly just to save his own life. He tells them to, okay, everyone split up, find the exit, and shout out where the exit is so we can all get out of here alive. And then this other guy is just shouting out the same thing, like, good idea, let's help each other and get out of here alive. Why did you even have to waste time to say that? Right? The thing the first guy said should have been more than enough. You just lost a bunch of time to hide. There's 2 minutes for you to hide. And from what I see, not that many hiding spots. You're gonna waste your damn time talking. What the hell? So anyways, they get 2 minutes to hide, and, oh, bad timing is bad timing. The pregnant girl, she starts to have some pains. That's not gonna be good. But of course, her friends help her out. So now it's time for the red team. It's about time for the red team to go in and start hunting. I really cannot for the life of me remember this guy's name. The guy who is Thanos' right hand. He goes to the crypto scammer guy and asks to team up. And he's just like, why? Well, because, you know, the blue team's just not gonna lie down and let you kill them. They're gonna resist. So 2 killing 1 person killing another person with help will happen much faster, much easier. And I'm just sitting here like, you idiot! This was your golden opportunity. You should have been like, I will team up on you on one condition. She is off limits. The girl who is pregnant is off limits. You idiot! Why didn't you say that? You know damn well, that if he finds her, he's gonna protect her. And then he's gonna be like, I don't care. Move aside, let me kill her, or I will kill you to get to kill her. You absolute dummy. You absolutely should have been like, I will team up with you on one condition. She is off limits. Fucking idiot. He didn't say that. Whatever, it's time for the red team to go in, and Gi-hun is pissed. You know damn well he's going in with one target in mind. So that's the storyline on the island. We also get a small storyline with, you know, the group on the water searching for the island. So, once again, I forget the character's name. The very joyful, cheerful character from Season 2, he brings up his concerns to the detective guy. I forget all these characters' names. He brings up his concerns like, hey, Captain Park, you know, he was there the night that one of our own went off board, you know, and I saw a screwdriver in his hand. Maybe he has something to do with it, because my gut is telling me he's not innocent. But of course the detective is like, he saved my life, you know, and he's been helping me try to find the island for the past 3 years. I trust him. What about you? You were drinking that night as well. And I'm just thinking, like, brother, you don't find it suspicious that he's been trying to help you for 3 years and you still haven't found the island? yes, Korea's a big place, and yes, there's a lot of islands around, and also yes, the operation is hidden in one of the islands, but like, come on, man, 3 years? 3 years! And you don't think that maybe, just maybe, this Captain Park, who claims to be your friend, is potentially misleading you on purpose? Whatever. It's the next day, they set sail again, and then this guy, the cheerful guy, he decides to not go on board, but instead maybe to follow them, because his gut is telling him that Captain Park is guilty. There was also this scene with Captain Park calling the front man like, they're getting close. What do I do if they discover anything? Front man's just like, kill them all. Even the detective. Which is cold, because the detective is his brother. The guy who Captain Park pushed overboard, we see him washed up on an island. I don't know if he's alive or not. And, the third storyline of the episode, the woman who is the soldier, she goes down to where they harvest organs. She kills them all except for the guy who actually, extracts the organs, pulls a gun on him and is like, save him or you die. Well, so he does that. He tries to save him, but he's lost too much blood. He needs a blood transfusion, but no one's around. So the woman's just like, use mine. My blood type is type O, which I think is the universal donor? And, well, for a blood transfusion, he stuck the needle in her neck. Oh, in the neck? Not the wrist, the neck? Not even the forearm vein, the neck? Oh, I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it. I can watch people be stabbed, be torn apart. I can watch that just fine. But needles? Oh, no. I start to breathe heavy. I start to panic. But, like, a blood transfusion from the neck? God damn! Ow! I don't know, man. This is the first I've seen of a blood transfusion from the neck. But anyways, for the most part, that is Squid Game Season 3, Episode 1. I could not have missed any small details, because I have the episode right in front of me. And any small details I did not mention were just simply not worth mentioning. But yeah, I kind of figured watching this episode, seeing the runtime that was remaining in the episode, that they were going to, pad out the runtime and save the actual game for the next episode. Oh wow, look at this. I just went back to the homepage for Netflix. I'm seeing something called The Waterfront, and I'm seeing Melissa Benoist is in it. Huh. Interesting. That hide-and-seek game, not only if you hide and you get caught, you're likely to die. If you're one of the seekers, and you don't find anyone to kill, you also die. So, wow, this one's actually pretty tough. Anyways, yeah, I have not seen I have not seen episode 2 yet. I will for when I discuss it next time. So, unlike season 2, where I watched the whole thing, and right about now, I would know exactly what's coming up. Nah, this time, I'm gonna go one episode at a time. What is this I'm seeing? Oh, never mind. Hey, look at that, Megan's on Netflix. Megan 2.0 just came out, and, you know, I still have yet to watch that. Man, Megan really should not have been a PG-13 movie. It should have been way higher. Because PG-13 is just holding it back. Kind of like it did for Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh yeah, I'm also seeing this on the front page. K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah, I heard some buzz about this as well. Anyways, what music should I play now? Damn it, the stupid ads. Alright, now let's move on to Gen V. Episode 7, I believe. The second last episode, right? I gotta admit, the show's definitely getting better. You know, it's definitely getting better as the episodes progress. Yes, this was episode 7. I'm trying to remember exactly how the episode even started. I think it started off with, like, Dr. Cardosa talking to Indira Shetty about the virus, you know, asking, like, why do you want to make it more contagious? And she's just like, I want to get rid of them all. But Dr. Cardosa is just like, I didn't sign up for this. What if I tell Vought? I think I got PTSD from Suitcase Sim. How long did it take you? It took me 17 days to get my shiny Chimchar. I don't keep count of encounters. That's too much work. I keep count of how many days it takes. Yeah, anyway, so Shetty gets a text from Kate. You still haven't gotten one? Oof. I'm sorry to hear that. Keep it up. She gets a text from Kate wanting to meet up. So Kate and the other characters are actually at this, like, diner restaurant to lay low, I guess. Kate is also able to hear their thoughts. So I guess she's a telepath now also. 40 hours and 1652 encounters. We chillin' though. Yeah. There was news, like, in the episode. There was news on the TV about Victoria Newman's running for office. And I'm like, okay, I like that. I like that tie-in. Because right after Gen V, we're about to enter Season 4 of The Boys, where we will deal more with Victoria Newman and her campaign. So I like that. I like the fact that near the end of the season, we're actually starting to tie in to what's coming up after, which is Season 4 of The Boys. It's like 3304 encounters, if I'm correct. So Marie and Jordan are like, all right, we have to tell someone about this. Who do we tell? Who do we get help? Because, and once again, there's a bunch of woke shit. There's a bunch of woke dialogue. So they need to try to expose this to someone to try to stop it. Marie's just like, who's gonna listen, you know? People like you and me, a black girl and a bi-gender Asian person, who's gonna listen to what we have to say? And then they look to the side, we tell someone who people will listen to. They look to the side and they see posters for Victoria Newman. So they need to find a way to tell Victoria Newman. So back at the campus of God U, Emma tries to hide Sam in their room. You know, while Emma goes out, finds food, finds clothes for him. And she tells Sam to stay put. Don't go anywhere. Don't open the door for anyone. Because, you know, stranger danger, right? Right. So don't open that door. You got handed a bad hand? Oof. So, yeah, I can't... What Sam did is kind of, yeah, not great. But in another word, what? In another way, it's like, oh, I can't entirely blame him. Not because of what you're thinking, but because of, you know, he was told to stay put and he doesn't have anything to do. The guy doesn't have a phone. I don't know if he knows how to work the TV. You know, the guy doesn't really have anything to do. So what does he do? He just looks around. He digs around at Emma's stuff. So he sprays her perfume, and then he opens the drawer to where she keeps her underwear. But hey, at least they answered my question. Do the clothes shrink with her, or does she have different size clothing? Nope, she does indeed have different size clothing. So he plays around with her underwear, okay. And it's not even the way that I'm making it sound. He literally plays with the underwear. Like the really small pair, he puts it on his fingers and then does finger puppets. How does one not know how to turn on a TV? Well, if you're not mentally well and you've been locked up in a torture dungeon underneath a school, I suppose you might not be very sound to use certain gadgets that are very much the norm in everyone else's life. Yeah, Sam's not a very well character. You know, he's not very stable in the mind. But then he hears screaming coming from outside. And from what I saw, the subtitles said Emma screaming. But in the actual scene, there was no Emma at all. Instead, out in the hallway, out of all hallways in the entire campus, they chose to do this right outside of the one room. This one particular room, alright? So, there's a bunch of soups using their powers. Froze the hallway with snow and ice, and they're ice sledding. I mean, hey, it looks fun. Luke gets, roped into it to have a little bit of fun. Even though he was told by Emma to stay put, don't go anywhere. And, of course, Rufus is there as well. Man, he sure recovered quick after getting his penis blown off, literally. And I can't tell if that was Dusty or not, you know? I haven't seen Dusty's face enough to recognize if that was him. So I guess him dying in Kate's mind led to nothing. So, yeah. They're partying in the hallway, and then not Dusty. And then Rufus is just like, hey, come on, we're moving the party. But Emma told me I should stay put. Oh yeah, Emma will be there too. She's meeting us there. And then he's just like, okay, I'll go. So Shetty actually meets up with, hey, surprise guest character, Mallory. I really did not expect Mallory to show up. Hey, that's nice. A little nice connection there, alright. So, this is actually the first time, from my understanding, like, actually in-universe. The first time these two characters actually met. Not only the first time we saw them on screen together, but the first time the two characters actually met face-to-face. So, Indira Shetty is trying to tell Mallory, I have a scientist who's developing a virus that can wipe out all soups. And Mallory is rightfully against it. She's just like, what you're planning to do? It's a war crime. It's genocide. But then Shetty's just like, you know, it's a war between us and them. We just have to attack first, something like that, right? Or whatever she said. Mallory is against it. She even references Butcher, but doesn't say his name explicitly. She's just like, I know someone who thinks a lot like you. He is so consumed with vengeance, with rage. There's almost nothing left of him. Did I not mention before? Imagine if Butcher met Indira Shetty. Imagine if Butcher found out that, you know, there was potentially a soup-killing virus out there that could not affect regular human beings. Butcher would absolutely go behind that. He would be funding it. Alright, so Mallory basically told Shetty to piss off. She does, and then Mallory pulls out her phone and is like, did you get all that? We don't learn who she was talking to on the other end. And I doubt we will learn until maybe The Boys Season 4. Oh yeah, Kate also did I mention this yet? Kate called Shetty to meet up, and she's just like, go wait at my house. I'll be back after a quote-unquote meeting. So, all of the guys who were throwing that hallway party when they said they were relocating the party, well, it wasn't actually a party, it was more of... Wait, that hasn't happened yet. It was more of like an audience. But before that happened, so we saw Kate and Andre, they're together. They're watching the live broadcast of this, like... What the hell was his name? Cameron Carmen? Or maybe the other way around? This guy was interviewing Polarity, I think his name was, so Andre's father. And then live during the interview, Andre's father just has a seizure. So Andre needs to run after his father, needs to go and check up on him, because Andre even said he hasn't spoken to his father ever since he learned his father was in on it. So he runs after his father and joins him in the ambulance to the hospital. And during the hospital ride, first of all, I was thinking, are they about to end up at that town in From? Because I literally just saw that happen. But like, while Andre's father was having a seizure in the ambulance, you know, his powers were crushing the ambulance. He was imploding it. You know, bad reference, kind of like the Titan sub with Ocean Gate. And Andre's trying to use his powers to push it back. I'm just thinking, this world doesn't have soup paramedics? Soup ambulances? So in this world, we just got regular humans in ambulances to deal with super-powered people. Seems like a pretty, you know, pretty glaring problem if you ask me. Because, you know, a regular human being just trying to do their job and save a life can easily be absolutely destroyed, you know? But whatever. So yeah, the party people moved to an audience because on stage, that Cameron Carmen guy is now interviewing Victoria Newman. She actually showed up in the episode. I thought the news mentioning her was all we were gonna get in the episode. Not only did we get that and a guest appearance by Mallory, we also got Victoria Newman to flat out show up in the episode. So it was basically her at the school campus. So she's in front of all the college kids, and she's trying to plead her case like, I'm trying to make a better government where regular humans and superhumans all have equal rights. Man, both sides are booing her. Both sides don't like her. One would think that'd be the ideal person you would vote for, right? Someone trying to make both sides equal with rights. But both sides were booing her. Regular humans were booing her and soups were booing her. I'm just like, what more do you guys want? But whatever, right? She tries her best, but the entire crowd is booing her, and then anarchy breaks out to where she had to be escorted off the bridge by her security. Well, actually, while she was being interviewed, so Marie and Jordan, they need to find a way into the building in order to get close to Victoria Newman to tell her. But obviously, the building has security, so how do they get in? Jordan actually causes a distraction. What was her name again? Let's see. Her name, the character's name, Justine. There we go. Jordan sees Justine, who's, just coincidentally standing there. And he's just like, hey, you're the bitch who made fun of Emma, right? And she just socks him right across the jaw, just absolutely clocks her in the face. Completely breaking her jaw, but, she just moves it back. And then they just start a huge fight. To the point the security have to intervene, so Marie can just slip right in. Well, Victoria Newman gets escorted to safety. Marie's there trying to talk to her. And Victoria Newman is just like, you're Marie Monroe, right? I've been wanting to talk to you. Come, let's talk in private. While they talk in private, Victoria reveals to Marie that, she's a soup as well. And not only that, she has borderline the same powers. Maybe not identical same powers, but still similar. Because Victoria Newman cuts her own hand and she reveals she also can control blood. So it's not just head popping like we thought initially. Maybe she's able to build so much pressure in the head that the head just explodes, with blood. Maybe that's how she can use her powers, and who knows, maybe Marie can do the same thing if she learns how to. So Marie tells Victoria Newman... Oh, wait, there was also an entire scene that happened too. Whoops. So there was also this scene that happened where... How can I forget? This is a pretty important scene as well. A scene where Marie and Jordan, they look into Dr. Cardosa's files, I think. No, it was Dean Shetty's room, wasn't it? Whatever, they're looking into someone's paperwork. They see records of a flight. A particular flight that had Indira Shetty's husband and daughter on board. The world was told that plane was brought down by terrorists, but we know better. It's the exact same flight in The Boys Season 1 that Homelander let crash. And now we know Indira Shetty's family was on board. Her husband and daughter died on that plane. And Homelander let it happen. So, Marie and Jordan learn about the plane crash. But then, Dr. Cardosa, of course he does, drunkenly enters the room, spilling all the beans. He's just like, she wants me to heighten the virus, does she? Trying to twist my work. And then he pisses into the the alcohol bottle. Like, how about you drink out of that, Indira? So now they know of some sort of virus. So yeah, now Marie tells Victoria Newman about not only the lab, the research lab underneath the school, where they experiment on students. There's also a virus that can infect soups. And Victoria Newman's just like, don't worry, I'll take care of it from here. There was a little bit more woke dialogue here, because Victoria Newman tries to warn Marie. You have two options now. You can go back to being a regular student, or you could keep on pursuing this and completely screw up your future. Because if you continue to be a student, then you can do whatever you want, you know? The first black woman in the 7. But that can only happen if you do good in university. But if you pursue this path, you will lose everything, and you will lose everything you've been fighting for in your life. Your choice. Study and gain power, or pursue this path and lose everything. Anyway, so then everyone gets a text from Kate to come to Shetty's place. Because there was the scene with Kate and Shetty where Shetty reveals everything to Kate. It almost seems like, you know, they were on the same page. Shetty reveals to Kate, you know, her husband and daughter died and she lost everything. But then she found Kate, and she loves her like her own daughter. Kate is able to tell if she's telling the truth or not. They go over to Shetty's house, except for Andre. He stays by his father's side. They show up at Shetty's house. Marie, Jordan, Emma, and Sam. They show up there, and Kate has now made Shetty spill everything. She reveals what the virus is, the fact that it could potentially wipe out all soups. You know, they plead like, we did nothing to you. We wouldn't harm you. It's like, Homelander. She primarily wants Homelander, because Homelander let her family die on that plane crash. And then she also reveals the school is not even a school. It's just a cover-up. The true purpose of the school is, you know, to study the students. The students aren't there to study. The school is there to study the students. So the school is all bullshit. And then Kate makes Shetty kill herself by slitting her own throat. And then she actually makes Marie not help her, not save her. And this makes Marie flash back to her own mother's death. Everyone is kind of, you know, disgusted by what Kate has done, except Sam. Sam's just like, this is justice. Because you can't really blame him, right? Shetty, after what she did to Luke, you know, what she did to himself and his brother Luke. So the team is now divided once again. So we'll have to see just how divided they are for the season finale. And then, the final scene of the episode. So we see Victoria Newman meet up with Dr. Cardosa. Dr. Cardosa gives her the only container of the known virus, the only trace of the virus. You know, she promises him, don't worry, your research won't be tainted any further. Give me the virus, and I will make sure it stays out of the wrong hands. You're a hero, Dr. Cardosa, of the 21st century. let's face it. I was waiting, everyone was waiting for Victoria Newman to pull her act. Because she's even like, hey doctor, you're the only one who knows how to replicate the virus, right? You're the only one in the whole world who knows how to recreate it? Isn't that right? He's just like, yes. He looks at the business card that Victoria Newman gave her, and it's blank on both sides. A drop of blood then falls on the card. It's Dr. Cardoso's. His nose is bleeding. So he's just like, oh, the air must be dry in this parking lot. And then his head explodes. His head just explodes. Victoria Newman kills him. She now has her hands on the only known sample, not even the only known sample, like all of the virus. There is no more virus outside of this one container. She now has her hands on all the virus, and the only person who knows how to make it, to replicate it, is dead. And I just gotta say, you know, poor guy. Dude had a husband and a daughter, so, you know, poor guy. And damn, you know? In my opinion, that's one of the worst ways to go. Not your head exploding, but a surprise. In my eyes, that's one of the worst ways to die. Just a surprise. Before you know it, bam, lights out, you're gone. You know, if there's one way I don't want to die from this world, it's getting sniped, getting assassinated, because I'm not expecting it. But bam, 1 second, lights out, I'm gone. You know, if I were to die abruptly, I would at least like to know what's going to happen, you know? I don't want it to be sudden, a surprise. 1 second, I'm minding my own business, and then next, I'm gone. Although, that's just me, though. So, Victoria Newman now has her hands on the only known sample of the virus, so we'll have to see how that plays into Season 4. I do like that they're tying it in, you know? You don't really see too many spin-offs do that, besides The Flash. Because I'm trying to think, what other spin-offs really connected to the main show? Fear the Walking Dead, not really. First 3 seasons were pretty standalone, and then when Morgan joined the show in Season 4, it was still standalone, just this time with Morgan. What other spin-offs are there? You know, a bunch of like Marvel spin-offs. The spin-off is very standalone. Like, you know, Echo is pretty standalone despite being a spin-off of Hawkeye. The Punisher, being a spin-off of Daredevil, was still standalone despite having Karen Page on it. Yeah, I think the only case where spin-offs, at least from what I've seen, spin-offs really tying into another show would be the Arrowverse. Flash, Arrow, Legends. I mean, it was cool at first, but then it completely fell apart later on, you know? After Crisis, they didn't really do any crossovers anymore, besides the Flash Armageddon. There was supposed to be a Superman and Lois crossover with Batwoman. A part of me would have liked to see it, but you know what? In the long run, probably best we did not get that. Ooh, we've been listening to that for almost half an hour. Alright, I got one more show to talk about before we end for tonight. And that being The Boys Presents Diabolical, Episode 7. So we got one more episode of both this and Gen V coming up next time. And then once we're done that, all we will have to talk about for the time being will be Ironheart and Squid Game. And supposedly neither of those two are good. We already know that Ironheart's bad. It was bad before it even came out. The fact that Marvel tried to bury the show for 3 years is evidence enough, but you know, watching the first 2 episodes so far, I can tell you the show is pretty horrible. And supposedly, Squid Game gets pretty bad later on in Season 3. I've only seen Episode 1, and I thought Episode 1 was pretty good, so we'll have to see. I'll have to see just how bad the season gets. I'm not gonna let the external factors cloud my judgment. I will watch it, and I will judge for myself if it's good or not, if I like it or not, despite everyone else thinking it's bad. Anyway, so The Boys Diabolical, Episode 7. I do gotta say, though, I don't really understand what is the problem with people who develop these sort of anthology series, you know? Like, these small little episodes should have been an easy slam dunk to fill in the gaps. Tell us side stories that people would have actually enjoyed. You know, this would have been an easy home run to tell us stories like the beginnings of Vought, the origin of Compound V. It would have been such a hit to give us storylines that we want. However, evidence enough with this episode is just like nobody asked for these stories. It's kind of like What If. They gave us what if storylines that nobody was asking for. There were so many literal gold platters they could have served us, but no, they gave us stupid ideas that were absolutely horrendous. So I don't get it. I don't get what people's problem is with writing anthology series. It's not that hard, people, please. You just give us storylines that we will actually enjoy instead of giving us stupid, pointless stories that nobody asked for and contribute none to the overall story. Or the overall universe, but whatever. So this episode 7, I think it's titled John and Some He. Hold on, let me see. Yep. No, Sun, not with an M, with an N. Yep. So episode 7 is straight up titled John and Sun He. That pretty much tells you who the main characters are. You follow the characters John and Sun He. So the story picks up once again with a very Japanese anime art style. I like that, but it's different. It's definitely a different art style from the cutesy kawaii art style that episode 5 had, with Aquafina controlling feces. So this episode is more of the serious style for anime. Oh, what's that anime called that, like... Oh, shit. My friend's really into this franchise, but I forget what it's called. The kid with the giant Snorlax-looking thing? Ah, shit. I haven't seen it myself, and I can't remember the name. Whatever. So, we meet John, and his wife, Sunhee, is in the hospital with only, like, days left to live. So, John needs to take drastic measures and get his wife medicine. And I assume he actually works as a janitor for Vought Tower, because the guard there knows his name and actually knows to let him in because he's a cleaner there. Now, if he was just a random guy who stole a janitor's outfit, then I don't think he would have been let in, or the security guard at the front desk would even know his name. So I assume John works at Vought Tower as, you know, like a custodian, I guess. So he goes in and he asks the front desk guy, "Would you mind turning on the taps for me? The arthritis in my hand, it hurts." So the guy turns on the taps, and he's just like, "What do you mean? It's fine." And John tases him, but the guard does not take it seriously. He's just like, "John, what are you doing?" He gets tased, gets knocked out, so that way John can take his badge, get into the building, and steal quote-unquote medicine for his wife. So he goes back to the hospital and injects his wife with, you guessed it, Compound V. Well, Vought has shown up with guns aimed at them. John is pleading for their lives, or pleading for her life, like, take my life, she's innocent in this. You know, the men in black with guns see that John has injected his wife with Compound V. So, they try to clean up the mess. One of the guys tries to smother the poor old lady who is hospitalized. Man, Vought has no boundaries. You know, they do not care. It's also revealed at this point what son he has. She has, like, pancreatic cancer. And I don't know, John just assumes injecting her with Compound V would cure her. In a way it did, but not exactly. And wasn't it established in, like, season 2 of The Boys? Compound V is, you know, there's a reason why Compound V is injected to babies when they're young, because when you inject it into an adult, it causes a bunch of issues. I don't know what'll happen if you inject it into the elderly, but if this episode proves anything, not a whole lot. So, Sun Hee gets injected with the Compound V, and then this thing in her gut starts attacking all of the guys. This thing coming out of her literal gut with, like, blue tentacles just attacks all the guys. So now they try to run for their lives, but in the lobby, there's a bunch of more men in black with guns. Once again, the thing in Sun Hee's gut just attacks and brutally kills all of them. The people working at the desk were smart to hide behind the desk for safety, for their lives. But yeah, a wall of bullets were fired at them, and Sun Hee's quote-unquote powers were not only able to stop the bullets, but also kill the guys. And the thing is, these tentacles, once they grab onto you, they pull you in, and then it just absorbs you. But it doesn't look like it absorbs you nicely. It absorbs you, and as you get absorbed, it basically just burns you into it. Like, it's a very painful death. Alright, so now they escape. They hop in the car, they drive away. John says, like, he already has a place in mind. They rented, like, a cabin or something. So they're going there. But then Sun Hee is like, stop the car, it hurts. So they stop the car in the middle of the woods. Sun Hee falls into the woods, and then this thing that was inside her just comes out. It breaks out of her. At first I was thinking, what is that? And then I realized, it's her pancreatic cancer Compound V-ified. What happens when you inject literal cancer with Compound V? You get this thing, this monstrosity. So this literal cancer in the middle of the woods reaches out with its tentacles to grab every living life form in proximity. It grabs all the rabbits, the squirrels, poor animals, man. It even grabs a deer, which is painfully dying as it burns, being absorbed into the cancer. And then you just hear its blood-curdling screams for help, screams of pain. Even a bear gets dragged in. Poor animals. Well, John and Sun Hee try to leave. A bunch of guys with guns fire bullets at this thing, but even they get quickly swept up and absorbed painfully. John and Sun Hee get into an ambulance and they try to leave, but then Sun Hee is just like, no, we have to stay and help. John's like, but we'll die. And she's just like, please. So they try to help. John still has the taser with him for some reason, so he tries to tase this thing, and I guess it kind of works, but not really. Sun Hee gets knocked far away, and John, well, now John tases it. And it's not explicitly spoken out loud, but it seems like in order for this cancer to die, Sun Hee needs to die. You know? Like, the host is dead, the cancer is dead as well, because it can't spread anymore. And it also seems like Sun Hee has powers of her own without the cancer, the superpowered cancer in her body. So she's able to fly now, she's able to do Hadoukens now, and everything's golden now as well. I guess because it turned to daytime. So John is crying that he's about to lose his wife for a second time, as Sun Hee plunges herself into the cancer to die, but it's not shown that. We're not shown that. She just charges into her cancer. I can't believe I'm saying these sentences. And then the episode ends. So I can only assume that Sun Hee, fighting her own cancer, literally, died in the process, killed the cancer as well, and, well, poor John. Now he's alone. The boy's diabolical! Yay! Once again, relatively easy placement just between seasons 2 and 3. All of these can easily be placed between seasons 2 and 3. Again, except for episode 3. I don't know what's going on with that one. Alright, there you go. All 4 shows, all 4 episodes discussed, broken down. You have it. You name it. What have you? You name it. So next time, I will have an episode for all 4 episodes to discuss once again. Oh, hello there. I'm about to end. We're about to hit 2 hours. I'm gonna end when we hit 2 hours. So yeah, next time we will have the season finale for Gen V and The Boys Presents Diabolical to finish up and discuss. And then I finally get to move on to season 4 of The Boys. I had to watch an entire spin-off to get to season 4. Well, you know, it's not like I didn't have to watch 2 episodes of Arrow to get to the spin-off show I wanted to watch, which is The Flash. That's what, like, almost 45 episodes before I got to watch the spin-off I actually wanted to watch. Whatever, I liked Arrow anyways. Unlike a certain someone, I'm not gonna get into that again. Alright, well, we're almost done for tonight, folks. I have a, I kid you not, a shit-stained carpet to clean, because my dog pooed in the house earlier. I picked up the logs, of course, but like, well, I gotta go steam the carpet after this, because no one else is gonna do it. Everyone flat out told me to do it. Ugh. Anyways, one more encounter and then I'm gonna end for tonight. We will continue hunting next time, because for God's sake, Heatran just does not want to be shiny. And last encounter for tonight. Damn it. No shiny. Alright, thanks for watching everybody. I will see you all next time. Goodbye now.